I'm a producer, actually, not just for one specific genre either. It's not like I only do hip-hop beats or whatever. I try to get as much creative stuff I can and put it out to whoever needs it, any local artists or whatever, if they need help. Like I'll mix a project for them or I'll make a beat for them, whatever they need really. So I just try to help them out locally. You can get off my site, you can go to get some beats or whatever you need. I can probably help you out. Also, I'm pretty good at promoting, getting some word out there, so pretty much. Gotta have the 808s in there.
For me, what I think we're trying to bring to the indie music scene is just like, honestly, I'd say talent, because most people listen to mainstream right now, which is cool. Like, I don't want to hate on what you like, but it's just so talentless. And if you knew what goes into
no emotion in it either.
Yeah, if you knew what goes into the music process, honestly, you would just be like, why am I listening to this? I mean, if you want to just, Dougie and go to clubs and stuff, I mean, that stuff works. But if you actually want to listen to music, like, with your heart and, like, listen to it, like, examine it, like, analyze it, get into the music, then I think that's what we're kind of trying to bring back, is just some talent, I guess.
I guess I play a small role in the music community in Indianapolis, just because, I don't know, we kind of play music that not hardly anyone else plays around here, but I don't know, I think to a degree we kind of have some bit of influence, and I don't know, I think the fact that we play indie music, or the kind of music that we do, sets us apart from other bands and gets us different kinds of shows, and we've played with all different kinds of bands.
What role do I play in the indie music scene? I would say, I was a photographer for a decent amount of time. I'm still kind of doing that a little bit, but there's not a lot of stuff going on anymore, really. There's not much to get back into. I've played with several bands. I'm starting this new idea of running a studio and everything, so I can kind of help out in that aspect, get things going that way. But a lot, I threw a house show here at this house to try to revamp the music scene. Kind of helped for a while. We had about 200 people here, something around that. It helped out for a while, but then the scene just kind of died back out again.
I think about the music scene, I think a lot of us artists, especially in Indianapolis, need more recognition because people seem to overlook our city and what great artists we do have. And there's a lot of us out there. It's just we don't have enough supporters from our own people in our own city who would like to support us, but they support all this whack rap, I should say, that's out on the radio and stuff like that, when I feel like there's tons of great artists that are out. They just don't get seen just because of like the people around them, or people who are just too lazy to even like click a button on the internet to listen to somebody's song. I mean, it's really not that hard, and more than likely you'll probably end up liking that person's music anyway.
Stop being dumb. The music scene here in Indy, there's not really much of a music scene here in Indy anymore. It was awesome for a while. Shows every weekend. People were always at shows all the time. Now it seems to be, if you go to a show, there's either a lot of talented musicians playing the show and no one standing in the crowd, or there's a lot of no talent musicians on stage and a bunch of trendy high school kids in the crowd because they think it's cool to go to shows, not because they actually even care about the music necessarily, care about anything. That's the cool thing to do. It's not about having fun anymore. And then all the musicians that actually have the talent and everything, they don't pull the crowds anymore because they're not doing what's hip and what's cool. They're doing what actually takes skill and talent. And so we kind of don't really have a music scene here in Indy right now.
Let's see, current music scene. There's not much of a music scene. I mean, there is. A lot of the bands out right now are either our style or poppy, the stuff I'm not a fan of. Most people don't even listen to indie music scene stuff right now. Right now they're all into mainstream radio, whatever's in their car or whatever.
It's definitely hard, like, because I mean, there's not a lot of venues that play like our kind of scene. So like, we've got a whole bunch of hardcore bands, like really heavy, really brutal, and it's kind of all about trying to jump on a show, and like it's kind of hard to start your own shows. But I mean, everything's now is just like a really low key kind of like ratty venues, like kind of small places, like broken,
Unheard of places.
broken like ceilings falling off, like broken fans. It's basement shows. It's a lot of that. Like if you ever see like an indie show, it's like those are the people, like those are the shows that you go home like feeling something, like wanting to do something. It makes you think about like what you're doing with your life and all that. But you know, you go to like a Wiz Khalifa concert, like no hate on Wiz, but it's like it's going to a stadium smoking pot. Like what's real about that? Like
Absolutely not.
it's not real. That's just how you're feeling. Like I don't know. It's my opinion on it.
I agree. I also think that like, I don't know, it's just so talentless. Like I can't stress that enough.
The
Like
word talentless just keeps like coming.
like if you're a musician, like I play drums, so when I listen to a song, I listen to the drums. But when I listen to anything mainstream, I'm just hearing like, that, or just it's all clicked in. It's
It can
all
take
computer
it can take
generalized.
like
It's so
4 seconds to learn a mainstream song, but like if you try to like listen to like a hardcore song, it'd be like hours of just sitting in front of a computer trying to like listen to it.
My opinion on the indie music scene is, we are a little weak right now, for sure. I feel like people aren't motivated, people don't want to work hard enough. They're just like, they dip their feet into anything that, like, music itself, you don't want to dip your feet into it. It's something you have to jump right in, or you don't get in at all. You gotta want it, you gotta work harder than other people. It's just, if people worked a lot harder and collaborated more, that's another thing. People don't really get together in indie and promote. It's like selfish scene right now. People are kind of doing their own thing, and they're just like, oh, forget what other people are doing. Like, every now and then it's nice to collab. 2 brains are better than 1. So, I feel like that's the main thing. People are just being selfish.
I think there's a lot of really good things that go on in the Indianapolis music scene, but I also think there's a lot that's not very good, which makes sense because people aren't really supportive of the Indianapolis music scene, which is kind of a bummer. So I think there's a lot of really good acts out there. Like you got bands like Rocketbot who put out an album and an EP and make just some of the best music there is, and they don't get noticed because no one really supports, which is unfortunate. You got bands like Great Future who make great music as well, but they don't get noticed. And it was really nice because one of our friends in a band called Hot Fox, their music's getting noticed because they live in Bloomington now, but they had to go somewhere like that to actually have people pay attention and care enough to really give them the support that they need. And it has nothing to do with the fact that they weren't good at making music while they were there, because they were good and they continue to make good music, but you have to live in an area where people will actually go out to your shows, support you, and do all that.
Why does the music scene need help? Venues are garbage for local music scenes. You gotta come out and support. Like, if you want us to get anywhere and buy music. Like, right now our stuff's free, but eventually when we come out with this EP, it's not gonna be free, and illegal download just kills like local music because you know, it takes so much to produce and, like, you know, practice, play shows. Everything just costs so much money. And when you take something like that, you put all your heart and soul into it and just take it from them. Like, that's what Ceiling music is, honestly.
Like, you have no idea how long like we have to practice to be like a solid band. I know it's like, oh, we can just fix it in studio, but nowadays it's not even selling the music, it's selling the show. It's all about if you have a good show, performing. That's a lot about Indiana too. We don't perform like a lot of other states.
Because we don't really have a lot of places to perform.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we have a.
It's like it's the same.
It's the same like
venues.
4 venues or something.
And they're spread out terribly, so it's like you've got like 3 here and then like 1 like.
Yeah, so just honestly,
70 miles up.
Honestly, it's just like coming out and buying. You got to buy tickets. You got to come out and support.
Even if you're not gonna come, buy a ticket. No, I'm being serious. You gotta buy a ticket.
Yeah, you got to support. That's the only reason we're in.
And I mean, at least like go out and I mean, if you're gonna illegally download it, because I mean, I know a lot of people do it anyways. I'm guilty sometimes.
At least spread the
But
name.
yeah, at least like go out and show your friends or something. Don't just keep it to yourself. Because I mean, I guess that's another way that we can just branch out is if you guys show all your friends if you like us.
Really, it's just, I mean, we need to work as a team, as a city, actually, even rather than as an individual here at, like, in my room or something. I can't just sit in my room all day and just not let anyone hear my stuff or not work with anyone. If you work with people, then you eventually start to get, you know, bigger and bigger, and then people hear about you, and then they want to work with you, and then you're eventually just one big team. You're like, oh, hey, I know him, and he knows him, he showed me him. You just eventually, you just build relationships with other people, and you just get good work out of that.
The music scene needs help. We have all these artists that come from the same city, like Atlanta, Cali, New York, wherever. Like the music scene is really big, and it's like we are nothing. Like we're just some ordinary rappers just making ordinary music when it's not. Like this city needs to be recognized because we have like tons of people around here who's actually doing something with their music instead of doing it for the money. We're doing it for the love, and with the love, I feel like our love can be spread around to more people to make other people happy, and then genuinely we can put the city on the map.
Music scene here in Indy needs help badly because it just isn't working out right. Everyone's playing shows for the wrong reason. Everyone's trying to be in bands for the wrong reasons. People that are trying to be in bands for the right reasons are not. People aren't following their bands and stuff, so they're not getting the support they need. And basically, it just needs to get back to what it used to be, what music should be about, which is it's about having fun. It shouldn't be about making money. It shouldn't be about getting famous. It should be about doing things that you love to do, like play music. Or if you're not a musician, if you're the person that goes to the shows, it should be about going to shows and having fun and supporting your friends who do play music. Instead of going, you know, people need to realize it's not just, like, there's nothing cool about going to a show. What's cool is going to a show and having fun. If you're going to a show just so you can say, yeah, I went to that show last week, I saw this band, who cares? It should be about, man, I went and had an awesome time, and you shouldn't have to brag to other people and tell other people what you did. It should be about you knowing that I, myself, had a good time at this event that I did, either playing the show or being a part of the show, whatever. No matter what aspect of it is, you should be happy with yourself for doing it. It shouldn't be something you have to tell other people about.
I definitely think the Indianapolis music scene needs help because I see so many talented musicians and artists that start up here and end up going nowhere. And I look at my own musical career and I see how much potential we did have and how far we could have gone, but the fact that it's just not a very supportive community. And I have great friends who care and they do a lot to try to help us, but in the end you need lots of people to really put in that extra effort to like help you out. So I definitely say if you find someone or you have friends who are trying to go somewhere and they make music or they do anything, any art, I say you support them all the way and you just try to do everything in your power to really help them out, because those are the people that are going to make the biggest impact on entertainment, you know? Because like if all these great musicians are going out there and making great music and making great art, but they don't have the support or the fan base or whatever you want to say to get them out there, then their music isn't going to be heard. It's not going to make an impact. So I definitely think Indianapolis needs more support, and there are bad bands out there, but support the good ones.